Hi everyone, Jennifer here, back with another edition of TV Talk. It's Monday, and that means it's Gargoyles Day. And this week's episode was Sanctuary. The world travelers find themselves in Paris, France, one of the most romantic cities in the world, and find that they have stumbled into a love triangle between Macbeth and two very shadowy and very unsavory beings. Okay, things I liked about this episode. I loved everything about this episode. First off, this episode gets big bonus points because it has one of my favorite, sometimes villains in it, which is Macbeth. I know when he was first introduced, he did capture Bronx and Lexington and Brooklyn, and did try to lure the clan in, and, since then has caused problems for them. But in this episode, he actually not causing problems for them at all. In fact, he is actually an innocent victim in all of this. And the thing is, even though he does cause some problems for the Gargoyles, I don't think he sets out with the intent to cause problems for them. I think it's more of they get in each other's way. I think a lot of what he did in the past was all to find a way to defeat Demona or sever this bond with her, or put an end to his immortality or whatever. I don't think he actually, except for that one episode, Enter Macbeth, I don't think anything he's done has really been to cause harm to the clan. Well, okay, Lighthouse in the Sea of Storms, he did threaten, he did say he would test out some of Merlin's spells on Broadway, but I think that was more of an empty threat than anything. I don't think he really meant anything by it. But again, this one we see him in a different light. We do not see him as doing something against the Gargoyles. He's just simply there. And in fact, he needs their help, which I like. I love when they take someone who has been, and not just in Gargoyles, just in anything, who has been on opposite side of the main characters, and it turns out that person or that being needs their help. I absolutely love that. And we see that a lot. We see that sometimes in Gargoyles. We're going to see it again later on down the line with someone else. Second off, and this is not going to be a spoiler because it is revealed fairly early on in the episode, we see Thailog again. Remember in, I think it was Double Jeopardy, where I said we would see him again? Well, here we go. This is the first time we've seen Thailog since Double Jeopardy. And he is, yes, he's causing some problems. He has teamed up with someone who likes to cause problems for the Gargoyles, although granted, they are not setting out, much like Macbeth is not setting out to cause problems for the Gargoyles in this episode. Thailog and his partner, Demona, which is not a big spoiler either because it's fairly obvious near the beginning of the episode, are not setting off to cause problems for the Gargoyles. They're just, Thailog and Demona are just causing problems. But we do see, and this is something very interesting, and it's not really a spoiler, but it's something I do want to mention. We do see Thailog and Demona in some kind of relationship. Very similar to the relationship she had with Goliath at the beginning of the Gargoyles series. Now, they don't really get into explaining why they're in this relationship. I don't think Thailog really is getting anything out of it other than manipulating her to some degree, because we know Thailog is a manipulator from Double Jeopardy. At least I think it was Double Jeopardy that he was introduced. But could it be possible that because he's a clone, he does have some of that attraction to Demona that Goliath used to have. It's very possible. Is it possible because he is a clone that Demona sees Goliath when she looks at him? That is extremely possible because aside from skin and hair coloration and, of course, personality as well, Thalog and Goliath are very similar. They are very similar. The only difference is Goliath has dark hair and light-colored skin, and Thalog has light hair and dark-colored skin. That's like really the only physical difference between the two of them. Because, of course, Thalog is a clone. He would look physically like Goliath. And I think that might have might be part of the reason, or the main reason why Demona is in this relationship with Thalog. It's because he does look like Goliath, and maybe she's hoping to salvage that relationship, or it's like, okay, burn too many bridges with Goliath, can't be back with him. That relationship's overdone with. He's in love with Elisa. It's not going to happen with us. But here's this other gargoyle that looks just like him. Maybe I got a chance there. And we'll see more of Thalog later on down the line as well. So for those of you who like him, we're going to see him in at least 2 other episodes. I promise. And we'll talk about that. And of course, this relationship with Demona when it becomes more apparent in that episode as well. In those episodes as well. Okay, things I didn't like about this episode. There really wasn't a lot I didn't like about this episode. It was very well written, very interesting. I liked the well, I don't know if you can really call it a romantic story because there really was no romance in it whatsoever, at least not on Demona's part, between Demona and Macbeth. And for those of you wondering how Macbeth could not realize that Demona, and the woman he was with in sunlight during the day, was not was Demona, keep in mind that the Weird Sisters at the end of Avalon Part 3, and I think we're far enough away from that where this won't be a spoiler, erased all memories, or basically stated they are not going to have any he and Demona are not going to have any memories of anything that happened since the spell was cast on them. So that means that Macbeth doesn't remember that Demona can turn into a human during the daytime. And she apparently figured that out and was using it to her advantage. So there is a little manipulation going on in there. And I don't want to get too much into it because it is a spoiler, and I probably won't do a spoiler video on it because there is not enough there to really do spoiler on. We're going to start seeing, after this episode, some tension between Angela and Goliath. I'm just giving you guys a quick heads up on that. I think it's going to be in a few episodes down the line. I don't remember exactly where it is. And a lot of the episodes I saw were out of order, so I'll have to actually look at my DVD case to see where the episode particularly lies, where we see the tension between them. But this is going to be the start of it. And this is actually the start of her really questioning her parentage, that we learned about in Monsters. She's really going to start questioning the other side of her parentage. She actually does start in this episode, and really starts making that push to start addressing her parents as her parents. And where Goliath is kind of pushing back of, no, that's not the way, we're doing it this way. And of course that's not part of things I don't like. I'm just kind of giving you guys a heads up on that. And we're going to see another episode where we're going to see this tension. I don't know if it's the next one or later on down the line. I know it's going to be before the end of this world travel arc, though. But all in all, things that not much I wouldn't nitpick over. a lot of stuff that didn't make sense to me in the beginning when I first saw the episode. I was like, oh, okay, now that makes sense. Once I saw the episode progress, I say, oh, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. They did a very good job of not making it hard to figure out what was going on. They actually were very forthcoming with it. So, yeah. Nothing worth nitpicking over. Okay, feel free to check out my other gargoyle videos. My other TV talk videos. And my other videos. Okay, quick reminder on my comment rules. Okay, before I start off, a few things I'd like to touch on. First off, Please leave your comments and questions in the comment section. I do love to read those. Feel free to follow me on Wattpad, Tumblr, Instagram, and Twitter. I do have my name for those 4 sites right there on the screen, as well as the pictures I use for the icons. Please keep in mind that all pictures seen within this video do belong to their respected artists. I own absolutely nothing, and any sites mentioned in this video will be in the description section. Okay, YouTube subscribers. Any of my videos that cannot be found on YouTube are on my Facebook page. Facebook friends, basically the same deal. Any of my videos that cannot be found on Facebook are on my YouTube channel. And to anyone who's interested, you can feel free to check out my Facebook group, Fanfic Corner. Finally, DreamWorks Dragons will be coming to an end mid-November, and that means that you guys will get a chance to vote and tell me what show you would like me to do for the opening slot on Sunday. Your choices are Horseland, Outlaw Star, Dot Hack Sign, and Inuyasha. Voting is extremely simple. All you have to do is write a positive comment and or like or love a positive comment on one of the 4 shows listed, and whichever one gets the most votes is the one I'll do a set of videos on. Please keep in mind that negative comments and dislikes do not count as votes. If Inuyasha is selected, I will be doing up through season 1 of the sequel as of the posting of this video. And for those of you watching on YouTube, I do have a poll going on my homepage for this as well, but that is a one-time shot. You cannot vote any more than once on that poll, where this one you can is a little different because it's the comments. Okay, voting will be until the 13th of November, but if I do have to change the date, I will let you know. You may vote as many times as you wish in the comment section. However, with both polls, please keep in mind that in the event of a tie or no votes, I do have the final say. So far, the votes stand at 1 vote for Horseland and 3 votes for Inuyasha. However, you do have a little over a month left, so be sure to get your votes in and make your voices known. Okay, please like and share this video if you're watching on Facebook, or like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you're watching on YouTube. And as always, thank you for watching, and have a very nice day.